Hi, friends. I mentioned to you a couple of weeks ago that I served as the minister with youth at an American Baptist church when I lived in Boston. One of my funniest memories happened at a spring Sunday evening youth group meeting. We had finished our Bible study and we had eaten our snack and it was time to play a game. Everyone's favorite was sardines. Sardines is like reverse hide and seek. One person hides and then everyone else tries to find him or her. And as you find that hiding person, you hide with them until ultimately the entire group is packed like sardines into the one hiding spot. It was a beautiful old church building, which meant that there were a lot of really good hiding places. I was monitoring the activity from the central fellowship hall just outside of the sanctuary. All of a sudden, I heard a scream come from inside the sanctuary. And I ran in to see what was the matter, and as I approached the front of the sanctuary, one of the students approached me, soaking wet. I said, "What happened to you?" And she turned and pointed to the baptismal pool. Now, usually the baptismal pool was dry, but we had just so happened to have had a baptism that Sunday morning, and nobody remembered to drain the pool. So as she came up one side of the steps of the baptistry, she saw the other student hiding on the other side in the corner of the stairwell, and she just was going to go down the steps and through the pool and up the other side, because usually it's dry. But of course, it was dimly lit because nobody plays sardines with all the lights on, and so she couldn't see that there was water in it. Of course, as soon as she stepped into the stairwell, she realized right away, but it was too late. She was soaked. So I said to her, she lived nearby, and I said, "Why don't you go ahead and go home? We only had about 10 minutes left and get changed." And she looked at me like I was crazy. She said, "No way, I want to finish the game." That's how much fun sardines is. Now, she was unfortunately at a disadvantage for the rest of the night because we could hear every sloshy footstep. Bruce McIver, a Southern Baptist pastor in Texas, had an experience with the baptismal pool, but with the opposite problem. A young woman had become active in his church and she wanted to be a member, but she was really nervous about stepping into a giant bathtub and being immersed in front of the whole congregation. It took her a long time, but finally she was ready to take the plunge. Sunday morning came and he and the woman were waiting at the top of the stairs to the baptistry on opposite sides. The hymn ended, which was their cue to step into the pool, which was supposed to be full of water. But when they stepped down the stairs, the pool was bone dry. They gave each other glances like, "What do we do now?" And the pastor turned to the congregation and apologized and said there'd been a miscommunication. As they turned and came up the stairs, the pastor mumbled a prayer. "Lord, if it's all the same to you, just now I think I'd rather be a Methodist." Whether we are immersed or sprinkled, young or old, Baptist or Methodist or Catholic or any other branch of the church, there is one baptism. As the Apostle Paul writes in his letter to the Ephesians, "There is one body and one Spirit, just as you were called to the one hope of your calling, one Lord, one faith, one baptism, one God and Father of all, who is above all and through all and in all." What a beautiful gift. Thanks for listening. I'll see you again soon.